Hi there, my name is Phil Hensman. I'm going to help to explain the model of perfect competition to you today. The key to understanding perfect competition is to understand the assumptions behind the model. This is not real life, it's just a theoretical extreme which can be used for comparison purposes to industries to see how close to a perfectly competitive market they come. The first assumption is that the facts of production in the industry are perfectly occupationally and geographically mobile. That is to say that they are transferable between users and can perform any task anywhere. This means workers and machinery can perform any task assigned to them equally well. Land can be used for any purpose, and the entrepreneur has enough knowledge of organising these facts of production in this industry. Unrealistic, but remember, this is a theoretical ideal, not a situation that occurs in actuality. Secondly, the entrepreneur faces no barriers to entry or exit from this market. This means they are free to enter and leave the industry whenever they want without incurring any costs. The third assumption is that everybody involved in the market has perfect knowledge of prices and output decisions by firms. Fourthly, the products in this industry are identical, so brand loyalty does not exist in any way. Lastly, we must assume there is no monopsonist or monopolistic power in this market. This means that everyone is a price taker. They take the price that the market dictates, and no one firm or consumer has any influence over this price, as there are many thousands of consumers and producers who act independently of each other. The first point to note about this model is it's made up of two diagrams, the first of which shows what is happening in the industry, and the second shows what is happening for each individual firm within that industry. It is important to remember the assumption that nobody in this market has any market power to alter the price. So the price that the firm faces is determined by what is happening in the entire market and is decided by supply and demand. This interaction, as I'm sure you're comfortable with from your first year of economics, sets the price. As the firms are price takers, they have to accept this market price. This means that as the firms are small, they can sell as much as they wish at this market price to the many consumers, so face a perfectly elastic demand curve. The reason this demand curve is perfectly elastic is because if the firm charged a higher price than P1, because the customers have perfect knowledge of what other firms are charging, they will not sell any products. This means that the average revenue products is always the same. If we assume that P1 is £5, as the firm can sell as many as it wants at £5, the average revenue will always be £5. Along with this, every time the firm sells one more unit of output, it will always receive £5. So the MR is also £5. In the long run, this firm will always produce at the profit maximising output, the PMO, an output level where MC equals MR. This is also where no supernormal or subnormal profit exists. The reason for this is that if supernormal profit was being earned, as the facts of production are perfectly mobile, there are no barriers to entry and no brand loyalty, entrepreneurs will move into this industry to eat away at that supernormal profit. For the same reasons, if subnormal profit is being earned, firms will leave the industry due to no barriers to exit, so normal profit is always earned in the long run model. So, where production occurs, AC must equal AR. In the short run, however, it's possible that firms in a perfectly competitive market could make supernormal or subnormal profit, but only in the short run. I'll explain how. For whatever reason, demand for this product has increased from D1 to D2. This causes the price rise to P2, which means the firm can now receive a higher price per unit. This means the profit maximising output has now changed, as MC1 equals MR2 is at a different output. The supernormal profit now earned per unit sold is the difference between AR and AC at this output level. The total amount of supernormal profit can be calculated by multiplying this by the amount of output. This creates the supernormal profit. As a result of this, other entrepreneurs outside of the industry will be attracted to this supernormal profit. And as there are no barriers to entry and facts of production are perfectly mobile, they'll move into this industry, increasing the industry supply so the price is brought back down to the long-run equilibrium price, but increasing the industry output and eroding away the supernormal profit. Thus, firms in perfectly competitive markets can only make supernormal profit in the short run, and the long-run model will always prevail. Hope that helps. Thanks for listening.